You know what it is? It's
Right,
Water
right.
Cooler Wednesday.
Yes. Hello, hello. Welcome back.
Hey,
Welcome
everybody.
back. Yes, yes. Hey, hey, today we're going to talk about gentrification.
Ooh, that's a
The-
big word.
It is, it
What you
is.
say, what you say?
Gentrification. Gentrification, development, and buyer strategy, right?
Okay.
hmm So we're in Chicago, and there is a lot of development and changing of neighborhoods that are actually taking place. Some,
Constantly.
yeah, some are experiencing a little gentrification. Some may not be, but it is out there. And so I'm sure in your state, be it in Illinois or somewhere else, you're probably experiencing gentrification too, right?
Yeah.
Not a lot of homes available, so how do they get new development? But so this is a real conversation because buyers are hearing the words up and coming, development area, and new hot
Mm.
neighborhoods, right? Hot. so
Right.
so development can create an opportunity, but it also can create pressure, right,
Yeah, it
for
can.
different people and stuff. So
Right.
today we're gonna want to help buyers understand how to move with wisdom and not just excitement. All right,
That's right.
so
Because let's
mhm,
be honest, this is not just a real estate topic, but gentrification and development and strategy. That's really it's a people topic
yeah,
because it affects families, the legacy of homeowners. It affects renters, small businesses, property taxes, school districts, and also like kind of the way communities look and feel over time. So what we're going
yeah,
to unpack today is actually what happens when a neighborhood starts changing, what buyers need to pay attention to, and how to make smart decisions without getting, caught up in the hype and the fear and the pressure, like
right,
Dion had mentioned.
yeah, yeah. So, today, my name's Dione Branch, and I am with Allure Dream Homes, brokered by EXP. And each week we come here to talk about topics like this. So, welcome, right?
But she went and got cute. Y'all see our hair look and everything now, right? And I got mine. My cute hair is underneath there. That's what mine.
Okay.
And I'm Lisa with Nexa Lending. House Money Mama is what they call me because I'm the mom that's got the money for your house, whether that's real estate that is residential or commercial. I can help you with both.
Yeah. All right. All right. All right. So let's get started, Lisa. What does we're gonna talk about what the word means of gentrification and development. Like,
Okay.
what is that all about? So they say development. When they say development, we could be talking about new construction. We could be
Uh-huh.
talking about a renovated home,
Yeah.
new businesses, or infrastructure improvements.
Yeah,
Right?
that could look like renovated two flats, coffee shops, restaurants, transit improvements, or investors actually buying old property and converting them into like higher priced homes or rentals.
Yeah, yeah. Some of these changes they actually happen really fast, right?
Hmm.
Like some it could just like block by block
Yep.
where you really didn't notice it actually happening. You're like, wait a minute, what happened? What happened to my neighborhood?
Right.
So it could look different, from one street to the next. I mean, Chicago has a lot of that where you could go to
Yeah,
different neighborhoods, and then you could go 2 blocks over and it could be a whole totally
still
different neighborhood.
different.
So
Yep.
that's one reason why I always tell my clients when they're looking at houses that they should always like drive the neighborhood so they can really see what they're buying
Yes.
into. Mm,
Great advice. Yep.
yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, buyers need to understand what's actually happening, not just the not just what people are predicting, right?
Exactly. Because for the buyers, the key question is really not just is the neighborhood changing, but the real question is how is it changing? Who's
Mm-hmm.
benefiting? And can I afford to stay here long term if this is the area that I buy in? Because development doesn't always mean displacement, and gentrification really doesn't always happen overnight. There, like you mentioned, there are sometimes that it happens really fast, but sometimes it happens really slow. Um,
Yeah.
you can have one side of the street that feels completely different from the other, just like how you had mentioned. So, yeah,
Yeah, it definitely can take place, and you're kind of wondering like, how do I continue to live in this area, right?
yeah,
It's
hmm,
for those homeowners and stuff. So
absolutely.
it does provide buyer opportunities.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah. So buyers find it more affordable options in areas that are still in development, right? So, maybe there'll be less competition in that neighborhood than the already hot neighborhood.
right.
So
So a
I
buyer
know,
might be able to purchase before the prices really start to rise up,
yeah,
and that way they can actually gain more equity over time because, as nearby homes start to sell for higher prices and new amenities come in and demand increases and things like that, then that gives added value to their home, even though they got in early.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They right, like Lisa said, they can be able to afford before the value actually goes up. And
Yeah,
but the buyers still need to compare the current value versus the future potential,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
Right. So just don't buy only because somebody says, oh, this the next hot area, right?
Right.
Hot, right? So you kind of need to get involved with the community and understand like what's happening before you buy in.
Right. And understand those numbers too, because really you need to slow down because opportunity only works if the numbers work. You can't just buy based upon what somebody else says. You have to look at up and coming as what it is right now. You have to compare those two things to each other. Because up and coming doesn't pay the mortgage, it's your income.
Yeah.
so,
Right.
so you have to have that together and make sure that it makes sense. Always got to do what we say, the P word,
Right.
prepare.
Prepare. Right. So
Yeah.
plan, prepare. Right. We love those P words.
Mhm.
All right. So, but no, So this like we're talking about, like there's these risks, right? Like that the buyers could have, and so we could, as a buyer, like we're saying, make sure you prepare because or plan, right? Either all of that, right? The P
Right.
word, because what's your risk by buying into these areas because somebody said that this is an up and coming area,
Hmm.
right?
Dion,
So
lean back a little.
I'm gonna actually,
Okay.
and
There we
yeah,
go. Right. It kept cutting off the bottom of half of your face.
yeah, I know, yeah. So
Okay.
but the taxes, they can increase as value
Mm-hmm.
rises, right? So
Yep.
what'll happen is you could be in a community, and so the value rises, and maybe you've only been paying like 500 for your taxes or something like that, and then all of a sudden now it's gone. In the city of Chicago, taxes are lower, so and I think that's where we mostly see gentrification kind of taking place currently,
Yeah.
right now,
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
And so, taxes could go up to like 2,000, 3,000 taxes in the city. are a lot cheaper than taxes in the suburbs. But
Typically, yeah.
right.
But if they
So
rise, they get higher, because now you've had an increase in the value, because that's what taxes are based upon, right? The
yeah.
value. So if they rise, if they get higher, and your insurance costs can change too. Because
Yeah, yeah,
realistically, that's based upon, partially based upon value and, the certain statistics of the neighborhood and things like that. So when those things start to change, yeah, those can definitely add to an increase in your monthly cost now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Some homes could also need some major repairs.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, you have to go in there understanding that you're buying this house with a plan in order to, fix all the current structure. I would
Uh-huh.
hope you right find something that has good structure, good bones, and then making it into something that's a little bit more modern. So the appraised values can be harder to predict in the changing areas as well. So
Yeah.
let's say, for instance, you know, you're buying a house and you're thinking, oh well, this house is gonna have a value of 800,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Compared to, the current value, which actually could be like 100,000, because that's what's happening in some of these areas. But you don't know that for sure. Like, will my house actually increase in the value like that? And it could,
Right. Right.
or it
It's
couldn't.
possible. I guess it's possible, but
Right.
if anybody could definitively predict the market and say, I know for sure 150% that this is going to happen, I really think they probably get a different job.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm going to become the world renowned market predictor.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you got these people that they come out and they talk about what the market's going to be and everything, but they still don't know. You don't know what's going to happen,
Right.
because unfortunately we have politics that play a different part in it as well,
Yep.
which is affecting a lot of things. But one thing that people, when they're purchasing, maybe like an older home because of gentrification is taking place and stuff, as a buyer, I tell all my buyers, you should always have a home inspection, no matter what.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, no matter what. Even if you're
Yep.
planning on going in and just gutting this whole house, or you know, your inspections could be different.
Mhm.
Your inspection can be with a home inspector, or your inspection can be with a contractor, but you're having somebody that has a professional eye come through, look at the
Right.
house, give you an estimate on the issues with the house, and estimate of the value.
So
Um,
important.
right.
Yep. So important.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So those are definitely things that you need to look at. And a low price doesn't mean that it's a good deal.
I think people really get caught up with that one a lot. They think,
Yeah.
oh, this is a good deal. This is only, X amount of $1,000. Well, it might be that for a reason, and you may not like the reason.
Yeah. Yeah. So you really have to look into it and see. Maybe you don't, there's different categories of inspection with request or inspection with no request. But
Uh-huh.
just the fact of doing an inspection is something that you should do.
Right. So you're not
Right.
going in blind. You at least know what you're dealing with.
Right.
Hmm.
Look at the safety, transportation, schools, grocery stores. I think grocery stores is a big thing, and future resale, right? So, because some of those neighborhoods may not have stores and stuff, but hopefully that'll be in the plans, and you can go to City Hall, find out a little bit more about what the future plans are going to be, what stores are coming.
Yes.
Talk to the aldermen, right? Especially in Chicago, you can always have a chit chat with the aldermen and find out what their plans are for the
Right.
community and
And if
see
they
how.
don't have a plan, you can give them one.
Right. Yeah.
Don't be
And
afraid to make suggestions and advocate, for your neighborhood.
for sure, for sure. Going to the alderman meetings are very important. Right.
Mhm.
So, um, buyers need to ask: can I live with this
And
property in this neighborhood as they are today.
Right. Today.
Right. So, because that's that's definitely a big thing. You don't know. There may be more crime in the area, things like that. Do I feel safe in this community right now? So,
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
those are different things. Um, we talked about this a little. I just mentioned this. What? How do you research, Lisa? How are we going to research a change in the neighborhood? Right?
Well, you already brought up something in regards to that. One of the things you tell people all the time, which is just drive the area. Drive
Drive
the
the
area
area.
at different times of day, morning, midday, nighttime on the Saturday.
Nighttime on Saturday.
Yeah.
And on a warm day. Even if it's during the wintertime,
Yeah.
there is typically a day that is nice where it's not really cold. So
Yeah.
you still that day you go back and drive the neighborhood as well. Like
Mhm.
cause all the people who have been in hibernation are waiting to
They
come
gotta come
outside.
out, right?
They're waiting to come
Absolutely.
outside. Oh, it's gonna be warm today. They outside. Go
Yep.
see what it's like. So I also mentioned talking to people who actually know your neighborhood.
Right.
That's what I said. The alderman, talk to the
Mhm.
alderman. Talk to your community leaders.
Or see if you have some nosy neighbors. I mean, some people will come out if you just happen to proximity. If you
Yeah,
just happen to be there, they'll see you. They nosy, so they know you there.
they
So
know you
they'll
there.
see you.
Right,
They'll come out and
right,
they'll talk to you and chit chat. You get all the gossip and everything. Just hang around for a little while.
right. Stand outside. Keep looking at the house. Next door neighbors will look out their window and kind of come out and check
Yeah.
you out, see what's going. Oh, are you gonna buy the house? They're
Hmm.
like, mm-hmm. Yeah. So definitely.
Well, was that from In Living Color where the sister used to say, "Well, I ain't want to gossip." You run into
Right,
one of them.
right. You'll find them. They'll come
Right.
out for you. Right. So, other things is to review comparable sales, right? So, when I work with investors, the investor is actually looking at other houses that are currently on sale, so they can determine what the value of their house is going to be. You
Yeah.
know, it's like they determine what their return on investment. Maybe you're not looking to do what we call a fix and flip, but actually live there. So now you could still do the same thing because you still want to know what's my return on my investment.
Hmm. Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Yep.
yeah.
Hmm.
So, look for boarded up properties, rehabs, new construction, and vacant lots, right? See what's going on with those different homes.
Hmm.
you know, so you'll know, like, okay, I mean, maybe, we're looking at areas that we're thinking that's going to change, but also, do you want to live on a block that has about five boarded houses up?
Right.
Maybe it's a little too soon for you to join that community.
Right.
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 So there's just different things that you want to look at. Um,
Hmm. Absolutely. So when you're looking at, recent sales and things like that, also you want to consider how long homes are sitting on the market. How long does it take
mhm.
them to sell? Um, are homes selling above or below the list price? Look at the property tax history. Are there permits, zoning changes, new businesses coming, major development projects nearby? Because all those things are going to impact your local area. Real estate is very, very local. So
Yeah.
any of those things like that happen, they're going to have an impact on your area.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. All right. Well, should we talk about the first time home buyers and their strategy?
I think we should
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
thrive.
Right. So, what the first thing I think we've been saying this all along, right? For your first time home buyers, you need to be patient, right? You need to be a little patient and educate yourself,
Yep.
right? Make sure you're getting some knowledge. Don't chase the neighborhood trend without understanding the opportunity. So
Hmm.
that's really important because we say somebody says, "Oh, it's the up and coming. These are the up and coming areas." You know what's happening first, right?
Hmm. Right.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. Know the nice, the must haves versus the nice to haves.
Hmm.
Right. Especially for new construction, right? Within new construction, sometimes it depends on the developer because I came
Oh
across
my
a
goodness. They try to sell you on everything.
right. So you have to really kind of pay attention to it because you're going in thinking, okay, I'm buying this house for this price, this amount of money. But then, oh, I need granite countertop. Why? Because everybody else is having it. That's, is that a nice to have or is that a must have?
Yeah.
Oh, I need, the special glow lights and, you know,
Not the glow lights.
right, like I don't know, like just all those different things that what attracts you to a new development. You pretty much go in there saying, "Oh, I want all of these things." Is it a must have or a nice to have? And how much is that going to increase your price of your home
Right.
versus your value of your home, right?
Right,
So,
absolutely.
uh,
Because for first time buyers, affordability is a huge thing. Because
mhm,
you're putting yourself into a whole different arena by becoming a homeowner. You're not renting anymore. You don't get to call somebody, at 2 a.m. if the toilet overflows or something. Everything now is on you. So understanding affordability is really important and taking that into consideration right up front. Like we always talk about preparation. So this is definitely something you want to be prepared for. Sometimes first time buyers do get priced out of the first choice neighborhood. So then they start looking at other areas that's, kind of earlier in the development cycle. They haven't quite gotten to the point where prices are higher and, all the people are flocking to the area. Um,
yeah,
so, you have to think about what kind of strategy that you want to use and what makes sense for your pocketbooks. Because really,
right,
that's
yeah.
going to be what it comes down to is this affordable? Is this something that realistically you can do?
Right. Yeah. So, right. Consider your resale value, right? What, and that's why I kind of talk about the return on investment. What is my resale value? And
Hmm.
then make sure you talk to professionals who understand the market.
So
So, this
important.
is where, even though you're doing new development or new construction, things like that, you want to buy a new construction home, you still can have a realtor helping you because the development company isn't there for you, right? They're
I want to back up and re-say what you just said. You still need to have a realtor there helping you because you want to have somebody who's looking out on your best interest on your behalf. The
yeah,
developer just want to get what they want to recoup their money because
yeah,
obviously it's not free to build a house. So the
no,
developer is really just looking at it from a dollars and cents standpoint. They're not concerned about you, your family, your community. They're going to develop and then move on to another
to
project.
the
So
next property.
yeah,
Yeah,
they don't really have your best interest at heart. Usually, a realtor will be your like your guard dog. They would be
mhm,
the ones that will have your best interest. I say you need to still have a realtor. Even when
yeah,
you go and talk to these developers, you should have somebody there who is going to fight for you and keep you, at the forefront. Like whatever it is that you need, that's what they're going to focus on. That's what you should have.
definitely, definitely. Because they're just there for themselves. They have a quota of houses to sell, and if they don't sell them, it's a problem, right? So, right. Yep. So I agree. I mean, everything you're saying. The goal is not just to buy and to change your neighborhood. The goal is to buy well. Just buy something that's gonna benefit you and your family.
Right, absolutely. So get fully pre-approved before you start exploring. Know your maximum payment that you'll be comfortable with per month and not
Hmm.
just your maximum approved amount because those can be two different things. You might qualify for more, but that might be out of your range of comfort.
Yeah.
So understand your program, like what kind of loan you're going to be in. Is it FHA, conventional VA? Are you going to get down payment assistance? You need to understand all that. And these are conversations that we have. when we pre-approve you, when I sit down and talk with you, then these are always going to be conversations that you want to have. We will have these conversations because a beautiful neighborhood opportunity doesn't help if the home won't pass the financing guidelines. So,
True. So true. So true. So true.
so what about we talked a bit about from the buyer side.
Yeah.
How does this gentrification and development and stuff? How does that impact homeowners and people selling homes?
Because it's gentrification, a lot of the homeowners are receiving notices from investors
Okay.
giving them offers like, hey, I can buy your house for this much money, right? So
Hmm.
a homeowner should really get a real market analysis
Yeah.
before responding to an investor. So
Hmm.
an investor always wants to buy low so that they can sell higher.
That's
So,
right. This
right,
increases their amount that they can profit. Yep.
yeah. So when when somebody investor is knocking on your door, contact a realtor. Let them know, hey, I have a realtor, even if you don't have one, right? And let
Right.
them know, you want them. They're gonna say they don't want to work with the realtor because, and they only want to work with you. And there's reasons because don't want you to be knowledgeable about what your actual value of your home is. So you
Right.
know, don't assume that the first cash sale offer is the best offer.
Right.
Right.
Yep. Don't make a rush decision just because somebody keeps calling and texting and mailing you postcards saying we buy houses cash.
Yeah.
Don't get swayed by that.
No, because they do. They're gonna come. So and understand your equity, right? And
Mhm.
maybe you don't know what equity is, right? But equity is actually the amount of money that you have in your home, the amount that's available to
Yeah.
you in as for your house. Your house is you may only have a mortgage of 20,000 left, but your house could be worth, 100,000.
Yeah.
Right. So that's $80,000 of equity that you have in your house. So now somebody comes along and they say, "Oh, I could buy your house for 50,000." They done took away $30,000 of your equity in your home.
Well, actually,
Is
more
it
than
real?
that because unless they're gonna pay off the $20,000 mortgage. But yes. Yep.
Yeah. Right. So is it really worth you selling your house to them? Have talk to a professional about that before you just give your house to a investor. Yeah, you may have a lot of work that needs to happen in your home.
Hmm.
You could possibly take your $80,000 of equity, put it into your own home, and just stay there. Make your home, a nicer home. So,
That's
you
possible
know,
too. Yep.
right. So there's a lot of things that you could do. So, and like I said, know your options: sell, renovate, rent, refinance, or just hold.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Because
Mm.
homeowners need to know the actual value, what they owe, and like what they would net if they sold. And that's one of the things that realtors will usually do. I know Dion does that when she sits down and has her what would you call it, like your initial consultation.
Yeah, it's a market update. It's a market analysis, and basically letting everyone know like this is the value of your house, and
Mhm.
this is what and it's based off of what homes have sold in the neighborhood recently. So
Yeah.
we prepare a comparable market analysis.
Right. And then, obviously based upon that, if you sold it, what you would get out of it. And now you can compare that number to whatever the investor is saying.
Right. And no, they're not probably not going to give you what you're asking for, but at least you have an idea of what you're giving up.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
Mhm.
Very good.
Right. So, it's like sellers, you shouldn't be pressured. Let the pressure make your decisions for them, just for you. Right.
Right.
Don't
Yeah.
let don't let pressure. Don't let the investor that's knocking on your door every day pressure you into selling your home until
Mhm.
you actually know what you're doing, what you're into.
Yep. Absolutely. So we're actually right at 29 minutes. So we're pretty much coming to the end. There are some other things we could talk about. Maybe we'll table that for, I don't know, a different session. But
Hmm.
yeah. But I think this is really good. This is a lot of good information.
Right. And we always come here every week so we can make sure that you are aware of what's happening and how to best service you.
Mhm.
So if you have any questions about gentrification that you see that's happening in your neighborhood, actually give me a call. My number is here, so you can give me a call 773-819-6092. That can definitely help you as far as making sure that you get the best value for your home if you decide to sell or when you're buying into a house. I can help you. But if you're buying into a house, we got to first talk to Lisa,
The lender.
the lender, and she can give you some ideas. Lisa, you can talk about renovation loans, things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we can definitely do like 2 or 3K if you're going to stay in the house. That would be an FHA loan. Or we have like home style financing for conventional. And if you're an investor, I have options for investors too to be able to fix and flip your property, different things. So we definitely have a lot of options for people to be able to utilize to fix a home to stay in it or to fix a home to sell it.
Yeah. All right. All right then. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
you guys.
We'll see you next week again on Water Cooler Wednesday. Until then, whatever you need to do, call us first.
Call us.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.